They want to complete the main structure of the oscillating water column and install it at the pier tomorrow. The plan is to get that out of the way before starting the parts that will generate electricity and be added to the top. So, with the pier reserved and a crane booked for the morning, will they finish on time? Next morning, the main structure is finished and ready to attach to the pier. Surfers Keith and Rosie are here to help load up. With a big day ahead, a bit of brute force gets the mission underway.
1, 2, 3. Yup, Jim. Swing this on here.
That could be the last time this thing's ever on dry land.
It might also be the last time it's ever in one piece if the weather they had here last winter strikes again. Fortunately today, the Atlantic lies quiet, as if permitting Dick and Jem to proceed. The operation rolls into action. The crane, safety boat and council permission have all taken careful planning, so there's a lot resting on today. However, what could spoil it is the tide.
We've only got till 15:11, that's the low water mark.
Fitting that bottom part of the frame, we've probably got about 15 minutes to do it, and that's it. That's it.
Get on with it.
They can only bolt down the bottom of the frame when the tide reaches its lowest point, meaning they'll only have a narrow window of time before the water starts to cover it again. With low tide approaching, they need to get cracking, and the funnel still has to be attached to the end of the pipe.
Keep tightening. Just let me know when you're going to drill anything.
Coming through somewhere above your head, Jem.
Yeah, and move back.
Just over an hour to low tide, and the installation begins. It's a tense moment as the heavyweight frame starts being edged into position.
I would say that's not far off there.
Mind yourself, Jem, we've got the horizontals coming in. That's it down as far as it's going, isn't it?
Could maybe come out to sea slightly. Right, so I want to go out that way, so up a little bit and out that way.
Despite the time pressure, they can't rush this. It's a hazardous job and has to be positioned exactly.
Sweet. Yeah, that's ideal now. It's sat really nicely.
The bottom is just in the sea. The water's still going down, so at low tide, it should be high and dry and clear to bolt in.
Got about an hour, I think, before the tide's at its lowest.
Tide and time wait for no man, mate.
When these holes have bolts in, the frame will be secure, enabling Jem to climb up from the bottom and drill the remaining holes.
Dick, I'm going to come down and do the bottom ones.
Good call.
I don't know if you can fire in those.
Yeah, so I'll get
it might be a bit tricky, but give it a go.
It's still a few minutes before low tide, so Jem makes a start on the fixing beam next up from the bottom. The holes must be 15 centimetres deep to stop the bolts pulling free. So if they hit very hard concrete or metal reinforcing underneath, the job could easily be held up. The next task is to inject an adhesive resin into the holes. This gives a chemical anchor for the bolts that will be stronger than the concrete itself.
Jem, 10 minutes till low tide, mate.
All right, I'm going in to do the holes.
The bottom of the frame is only just clear, but Jem decides to go for it.
The water's just washing right over it.
Minutes later, and it's officially low tide, but there's still hardly any clearance. They're right on the limit of being able to drill the holes.
This is as low as the tide's going, mate.
Like, can you keep an eye out for any big waves that are coming? Just swamps the lot.
Wave!
Jem can't risk the drill flooding. It'll break and could give him an electric shock.
Wave! That was a big one. Wave! Wave! Wave!
Right, that's it.
Well done, mate.
After a frantic 5 minutes, Jem still has to inject the holes and set in the bolts. Luckily, the resin compound does work underwater.
How are you doing for that tube that's nearly empty?
Right, empty.
Yeah, set in quite quickly, mate, so you need to get used.
With the sea only getting deeper now, up above, Dick begins hoisting up the pipe ready to lower it into the frame. Not a moment too soon, Jem tightens the final bolt.
Dick, that's it.
Stand and clear, Jem.
But they're not out of the water yet. The final task before the tide rises too high is locating the pipe and clamping it down at the bottom.
Right, we need to rotate it. It needs to... Hold on. No, can you rotate it by hand? Yeah, okay. Oh, okay, like that. Okay. Right, you're pushing in. That's it. Good man.
They've beaten the tide, and their impressive installation has drawn quite a crowd of local supporters. So once the pipe is strapped in tight, they can stand back and admire their handiwork.
We were seriously lucky with the weather and things, weren't we?
Yes. Wasn't it beautiful?
It's fantastic, Dick. Come on, Neptune.
A little later and the tide is up, but the big question is, do the waves push the air up and down in the pipe?
That's so cool.
Well, hold on, we have to... Way up!
So a major milestone is achieved.
It works. It does work, you see.
But there's still lots to do. Turning the waves into electricity for the caravan. Next morning, the hard work has paid off. The oscillating water column has survived the night. Keith and Rosie are at their caravan, getting ready for a touch of surfing. But Dick and Jem can't afford to relax. They still face the challenge of getting their pipe to produce power.
Right, we've got wind coming out of our funnel. Now what we have to do is we have to turn that into electricity. We need to scale up something like this that worked on the bucket.
We can make some blades apart of steel.
How long do you reckon it'll take?
10 minutes.
Jem's going to rustle up his own wind turbine. The turbine will be mounted on the funnel of their oscillating water column. The moving mass of air inside the pipe will simply push on the rotor blades, creating rotation. By attaching the turbine to the spindle of an electric generator, it will produce electricity for the caravan. By changing the angle or pitch of the blades, it affects how easily the turbine starts up. The steeper they are, the less wind is needed, although the maximum speed will be lower. Coupled up to a 12-volt generator, the turbine's ready to be tested.
That's nice. That's a nice wave.
I reckon we would need about 8 meters a second to really spin up.
We'll see what's coming at the end of our tube. It's quite exciting now.
It is. It's a bit of a big moment.
When the turbine and generator are spinning, it'll charge a battery for the caravan. Question 1 then, will it spin?
Hold it in there.
Whoa! It goes, Dick, it goes! I feel like Dr. Frankenstein. That's amazing!
Look at the size of that wave!
Oh, come on.
Here, hold on.
It's encouraging stuff. But more importantly, is it making electricity?
Yeah!
4.45! Oh, minus 3.5! Oh, my plus 3!
That's a screaming turbine!
It's a fantastic result, and it's proof that their wave energy concept works. However, they're not getting the 12 volts needed to charge a battery for the caravan. The turbine has an inherent problem.
You lose so much, though, as it swaps from one direction to the other, on the pull and the push.
So you just about get up to speed, you make good electricity, and then it tries to change direction.
The oscillating water column not only blows air upwards, but it also sucks air down as the wave falls away. That means Jem's turbine is constantly stopping and starting up again in the opposite direction.
What we really need, Jem, is I think we're going to need a turbine which goes the same direction when the air comes up and when it goes back in.
Yeah.
The difficulty is, where are we going to get one of those?
I don't know, you're Irish, Dick. You know the lie of the land.
Dick is referring to something known as a Wells turbine. This is a precision-engineered piece of kit that has blades which spin in the same direction no matter which way the air is blowing. By using one, they could hugely increase the electrical output of their water column. Trouble is, Dick and Jem don't have the resources to make one of their own. But as luck would have it, Wells turbines were invented in Northern Ireland. So Dick does some research.
Belfast is about 10 miles from where I used to live. You make a phone call and you never guess what. I've tracked one down.
You've pulled in your old town contact.
Yeah.
Dick, you're a star.
But having tracked one down, they don't know if it's going to work. Yeah, it's
Right.
a prototype.
And they've got actual turbine blades.
Yeah.
While they wait for the Wells turbine, Dick and Jem have an extra project for the Surfers Caravan, which could be adopted by outdoor adventurers everywhere.
Oh, it's just we wanted power,
Fire, electricity.
not a bike.
Nah,